Yeah. Hey, look, I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Just start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen, never shitting on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my real view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes. And all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Don't get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm fed from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Isupk from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yeah. To all them children that grew up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leave her. Yeah.
Amen. All right. Shalom. Yahweh thumb to the men. Shalom. Yahweh Shemar Sister and Priest Officer 5,000. Top of the I.S.U.P.K. It's the Israelite School, the Universal Practical Knowledge on the D Community in GEN.YAHANNA. Right? So that 125th one West Hall, New York. We've been bringing the truth since 1969 to the so-called Black Hispanic Native Americans. Right? Before we start class, right? Before we get into class about women's work and what women are worth. We did have a question in regards to tattoos. So if you can give me Leviticus 19 and 28, just hold it for me. Because what we have to understand is we have I'm gonna go ahead and use the word groom, because when we say anything else, it's like people don't understand, you know, pedophiles, they groom people, right? And you know, when the word groom is being used, a lot of people look at it as in a negative connotation, because nobody wants to be groomed. Right? Nobody wants to be, you know, not really forced. When you groom, it doesn't feel like you're forced. It's done through game play. It's done through learning, intellectual. Just, you know, it's different ways. But grooming is not something it doesn't seem forced. Right? It just seems like a natural thing. Now, for those who are viewing from the outside, like, hey man, you're being groomed. You know, a lot of times people don't understand and don't notice that they're being groomed to do things not privy to the body, right? And so one of the things that we've done is we've taken on the customs of the world, because we were destroyed, just like the scripture say, my people are destroyed due to the lack of knowledge. stripped of our culture, our identity, right? Everything that made us who we were. And then we were groomed to take on another culture, another identity. Things and within that culture and that identity, we took on things that weren't beneficial to us. God chose people, right? Because God tells us not to take on the customs and the things of the people of the world, right? He actually tells us to separate ourselves from them. And so one of the things that we've done is the tattooing of the body. Look, some people say it's art. Once you get one tattoo, you need 23 more, right? And all these other different things that we taking on because we feel like it's a choice, right? It's our choice, our body, our choice, and stuff like that. But understand that you've been groomed to accept this.
Right.
It's not a normal thing. You've been groomed to think it's normal. You've been taught to think these things are normal. Why? Because you see everybody else with tattoos. You probably your auntie and uncle, somebody else, they may have tattoos, right? Everybody got tattoos, so you like, yo, this must be a normal thing. Let me get my back tattoo, right? But we're gonna go ahead and let the brother read what the scripture says. Again, brother had a question in regards to tattoo. If you're trying to serve the Most High God, it behooves you to do the things that's pleasing to Him, right? Not the things that's pleasing to yourself, and definitely nothing that pleases another man, right? But, you want to do the things that pleases the Most High God. Go ahead and read what you got.
Con one con, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead.
You should not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. And some people are like, well, I don't have nobody name on me. I'm not cutting nobody's name into my body. Well, let's continue. Let's see what he says. Go ahead, continue reading.
Con one con, Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28 continued. Nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
He says, don't make any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. I'm your Lord, right? And for TikTok, I'm gonna go ahead and give my moderators some time to make sure they view in the comments, make sure we moderate those comments and moderate each other. People are always gonna be hating on there. But neither here or there, we are to do the service of the Most High God, regardless of what the world is going on. See, everybody wants to be saved, right? Everybody wants to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong. In God's eyes, somebody has to be wrong, and that's the world, right? But so like, if you can, real quick, because we touch on the woman's work today, because the world again has groomed us to believe and take on the customs of the world, and it's crazy because it happens so haphazardly. Like, unless you intentionally trying to do the things that's pleasing, you'll find yourself slowly picking up things again of the world, right? That's what we have to study, meditating in scriptures day and night. Go ahead and give me Deuteronomy chapter 22 and give me verse 13.
Con.
Hold that for me, because in the old days, people say, "Oh, that's the Bible. That's the Old Testament. This, that, the third." You have to understand that a woman, right, a doctor. See, the way the Most High God prepared and created things is a woman should never be left alone. She should always have a head, right? She should always have a head. So her father is her head until she is given away unto her husband. What does that mean? That daughter is to live under the same roof as her father until the day that she is given away unto her father. Now, this Western custom and the way the world has things that have you believing things that is not of the Most High God. What is it? They say once your daughter's 16, 18, she can go party here, she can go there, she can go everywhere without being chaperoned. She can go anywhere and everywhere without having her covering her head, her father. And in the midst of those times that she's without her father, well, when I say calamity, the wicked things happen, right? We know what the world has done. We've been kids once, 16, 18, out here partying, thinking you're grown, doing things that's unpleasing to the Most High God, right? Why? Because we've been groomed to think this is okay. Because our parents told us, "Oh, we did that when we were young," and your auntie and them, they probably did that when they were young, and they were, it's just a rite of passage almost. It's become a rite of passage, sowing your oats and stuff like that. There's all these different things that they come down to, but it's not scriptural, right?
Right.
What I mean by that is maintaining your purity. When a daughter steps out of the house, she steps from under her head, and well, you understand what happens. You know, she comes and somewhere along the line, she comes back home. She's no longer pure. And the Bible that brings shame. That brings is a shameful thing to do that, right? It is a shameful thing for a woman to do that,
Right.
right? Go ahead and read what you got for me.
Someone come. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, verse 14, and give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
Okay, so I'm gonna read that again because I want everybody to make sure everybody hears it. So it says, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, which means we go in unto her, you have to understand what marriage is. Marriage is sex. Sex is marriage, right? When a man and a woman get together, the birds and the bees, that is marriage. Not this put a ring on it, not this ceremony that everybody want to. I'm not married yet, but you've been with 10 different men, but you're not married yet. You see the confusion the world has brought upon our people because of lack of knowledge. You think that the ring has to be put upon your finger for marriage to be the conception of marriage. No, it's literally right here. Go in unto her, right? And he hate her, right? Read verse 14, read verse 13. And give an occasion of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came in unto her, I found her not a maid. What he's saying is, I found her not, right? Pure, right? She doesn't have her token of virginity. I came in unto her, there was no blood. I came in unto her, there was nothing there. He's pretty much, it's again, like I said, a shameful thing. He's telling the nation, hey, this woman she's been out here playing no harlot. She's been out here loose in the streets. She's getting every name up under the sun, but the daughter of the Most High God, right? That's what it's saying. This man's calling her every name up under the sun, right? Why? Because he's saying she wasn't a maid when I got with her. I came into her and she was, you get what I'm saying? She was already been laid with.
Right.
Go ahead and read verse 15 for me.
Con. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate.
So the father and the mother supposed to bring the tokens of virginity. So the way it works, the way the real ceremony works is when a man wants to deal with a woman, he has to come to the father. When I say come to dad, hey, I want to deal with your daughter, right? I want to be with her. But whatever the father works out with the man, the father creates a bed chamber, right? And he lays the cloth across the bed. They go in there, they do what lovers do. They're married. Upon leaving, they give the father and mother the little sheet, tokens of virginity. This is to know that the daughter was indeed a maiden when he gave her unto this man, right? She wasn't a loose woman. She wasn't out here in the streets, right? Go ahead and continue reading.
Con. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. Verse 17. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
Go ahead and continue reading.
Con. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 18. And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall he left him in an outfit shekels of silver and give them unto the father and of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon the virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife, and he may not put her away all his days. So here, somebody is the sound good now.
All right, so Lucky, I'm back. Man, my bad. Can y'all hear me now? We good? We in there? Can y'all hear me?
It's working. Come.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16.
Come.
Because a lot of people start to lean unto their own understanding, right? When all this fails, they say, this gotta be right. This gotta be what the Most High God wanted, right? pause what you ain't got to read it yet, because what we see in Christianity speaks of born again, right? Being born again. You get born again, new flesh, new person, born again, right? And the Hebrew Israelites can speak of, being born again, becoming a new creature in Christ, right? Well, you have to understand the whole act of being born again and returning and have remission and repentance of sin is not to turn back into those sins, right? It's to refrain from those things. And what you have to understand is that you're really fighting the flesh, right? You're really fighting the flesh. You have to have the discipline to fight the flesh, because the things that has grown to be accustomed of the world, and the things the world does. Well, we pointed out here, we poked holes in it, and what you'll find out is that the same thing the world does, so does all the Christians. Christians do the same thing the world does. And so what you'll find out in the Bible literally creates a division. It should be a separation, right? How do we know this? Because look at it like this. Abraham, what was Abraham? Abraham was a Chaldean. When the Most High God told Abraham to get up and leave, and that he was going to make a nation out of him, right? The next time the Chaldeans saw Abraham children, they didn't see Chaldeans. They saw a whole nother nation of people, right, who had different mannerisms, who had different cultures, who carried themselves totally different from the rest of the world.
Right.
When the Egyptians saw the Israelites, what did they see? They saw a different nation of people. They didn't say these are Chaldeans. No, they saw a different nation of people. So as Assyrians and every other nation of people, when they saw the Israelites, they knew exactly who the Israelites are, because of our mannerisms and in the way that we carried ourselves, where it's different from the rest of the world. Because we have been given what? The law, statutes, and commandments. We have been given life, right? We have been set apart from all the other nations. We were set apart not to be the same. We weren't set apart to then turn around and do the same thing as the other nations, because the scriptures declare the exact opposite. It says, do not do what the other nations do. From among all the nations and the families on the earth, the Most High God separated us, and he chose us. And the world hates us.
Right.
Right? But we're going to go ahead and get it. Go ahead and read what you got for me.
Coming. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine.
For doctrine, go ahead.
For reproof. For correction.
For correction, right?
For instruction in righteousness.
For instruction in righteousness. All scriptures are given for correction, reproof, and instruction. This is the part I want you to understand, the instruction. When you read it, when you buy that lawnmower, you buy that slide, and it comes with a book of instructions. You can't deviate from them instructions, because if you deviate from the instructions, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a few extra screws. You're gonna look around and have a few extra boards and be like, yo, what happened? Because you didn't follow instructions, right?
Right.
But the Most High God gave us all these scriptures for instruction in righteousness. Now, the world says, when I say the world altogether has chosen not to serve the Most High God. But then you have those who put on the facade, the face that uses the name of the Most High God for financial gain, for status, for looks. It's like putting on the road. Look at this Gucci. Look at this Louis Vuitton. Look at this Yahushua. Look at this Christ. Look at this. Ain't a Christian putting on all these labels. They do it for clout, right? They're not doing it to serve the Most High God, because they want to serve the Most High God. It would be a different mannerism between them and the world. They wouldn't be doing the same things the world does.
Right.
The world doesn't care if a woman's been married 15 times. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to still go back and remarry that woman. They're going to get with that woman. They're going to lay with that woman. They're going to be with that woman. The world does it. Right?
Right.
They don't care, because remember, I broke down that when I say broke down, it's the scriptures that declares that marriage is sex and sex is marriage, right? And if we just read it, when they become one flesh, they're not to be separated, right? It was never meant for a man and woman to be separated under the guidelines of the Most High God, under the instructions of the Most High God, and of course also Yahushua. It was instructions given that no man, no woman should be separated once they've come together. because they become one flesh. But the world says, man, it's an occasion, it's a day, it's a time. Let's get it on. Let's move like animals. Let's move like beasts. And in Christianity, they try to put a different look on it. Oh, you can be born again. And where's the judgment at if you keep allowing this ideal to run rampant? Right. This is why women can walk around here and say, I don't need a man. Why? Because there's no judgment. This is how women can walk around here and think they have a higher value than the man. My man need to cook, clean, and fish and carry me to what he got to do all this.
Right.
And then they want to say, well, I've seen a little, I'm going to the TikTok and these things I'm seeing. Oh, these videos, what a woman brings to the table.
Right.
And versus what a man brings to the table. And it baffles me because these women truly believe that they have a higher value than the men in this world. When the scriptures declare, hey, once you've been with a man and you've been separate from you separated from that man, you are of no value, but to that one man you was with at first.
Right.
Your husband. That's where your value's at. But because this world, Mr. Steal Your Girl and I Need Your Girl for one night, and
right,
we have created a sense of urgency for something that's not of any value. Right. And what I mean by that is this born again idea, this idea of being born again WAP. I know you ever heard me say that. We hyping and gaslighting and giving these women the power to think they can talk and move the way they move.
Right.
No woman is out here. No man is. When I say man, it stems all the way back to the father. No father's out here walking around shamefaced. People got mad at T.I. when he was out here ensuring, getting his daughter checked and ensuring that she was still a virgin.
Right.
The whole world. I can't believe he's doing that.
Right.
Why would he do that? Because that is what God is, required every man to do, to be a head over your house and ensure that your daughter stays pure until she's given it to her husband.
Right.
But because the world wants to groom you, everybody wants to. Well, everybody's doing it. Why you gotta be different? Well, everybody's doing it. Look, Let me tell you something. If everybody's doing it, then you have to understand it's not the Most High God. If everyone is doing it. Right? So, like, you go ahead.
So, like, sir, if I may, it's so crazy because they want to shame they want to say, don't shame us if we go out here and talk about being the best promiscuous person we could be, or if the sisters be the most promiscuous woman they could be, not to shame them. But then they shaming this brother for trying to maintain his daughter's purity. It's just crazy.
Right. And again, it's the world is grooming. It's a form of grooming us, right? Another thing that we see, again, is the pop the balloon thing,
right?
Again, I'm not into what the world does, but I just see it, and it's just crazy. The views, and you understand, the views is ridiculous, right? That means the entire world is in that same mind, in that same mode, in that same mindset. That this is something that I want to be on one of these shows. I like that sister. I like that brother. Whatever the case may be, we are moving like animals. We're not moving like the Most High God wants us to be, right? And Salaki, I want you to go ahead and give me Exodus 20 and 14, because what I'm getting ready to touch on is at the end of the day, what you have to understand is as soon as that woman leaves that man, right? As soon as that woman leaves that man and she gets with another man, she has committed adultery. And she has caused that man she has gotten with to do the same thing. He is now committed adultery.
Right.
So the idea of being born, this born again idea is not in the script. When I say idea, you can be born again. When I say born again, you become a new creature in Christ, but you have to understand that what Christ was saying when he was here, when that woman committed, when they brought that woman to him and said, hey, this woman committed adultery. He said, go and sin no more. He said, hey, go find you a husband. He never instructed her to go find a man. He said, go and sin no more. What does that mean? That woman has to go and keep the commandments, right? That's all he said. Go keep the commandments. Right. He didn't say go find a husband. When that woman said, hey, I've been with 5 different men, and she said, I have no husband. He said, you have answered
You have answered good. That's wise. You don't have a husband. Nowhere in there after the woman said I've slept with 5 men. He said, hey, go find you a husband and sin no more. You won't find the instructions, right? Because all scriptures is for instruction. Right? In righteousness, you're not gonna find the instructions that a woman should go be with a man. You'll see where a man made an occasion. When I say a man, Moses did it because what did it say? Because they were a stiff-necked people. But Christ doubles back and says, this was not of the Most High God. God never intended for this to be a thing. Right? So, like, go ahead. You read that for me, Exodus 20 and 14?
Loud, sir. Exodus chapter 20, verse 14.
This is instruction right here. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's an instruction. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Go ahead and jump to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. We're going to try to jump to these precepts.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. But the 7th day is the Sabbath day.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. No, you good. We're going to go ahead and blaze, because at the end of the day, we're going to go ahead and give you the instructions the Most High God has given us, right? Because you have to choose who you're going to serve. You're going to serve man, you're going to serve the Most High God. All right? You're going to go by what man said, you're going to go by what God said. And I'm going to tell you right now, every day, 24/7, 7 days a week, I'm going to go by what the Most High God requires of me, right?
Right.
Let's go ahead and get it.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife.
The man that does what?
That committeth adultery with another man's wife.
Marriage is when you do what? Slack, I've got it. Marriage is when you lay down with somebody, you have sex with somebody. That is marriage, right? So when a man, right,
committeth adultery,
he with another man's wife, right? Because remember, that woman and that man become one flesh. If she leaves that man and another man lays with her, he does what?
Committed adultery.
Go ahead, continue reading.
With another man's wife. Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
Shall surely be put to death. Now we understand that the Most High God, through Yahweh Shai, has given us the ability to have forgiveness of sins, right? The repentance and remission. Everybody has the opportunity to repent and have remission. What does that mean? If you've done it, right, stop, right? If you're doing it, stop. Go and sin no more. Return, right? Move around. Don't do this thing, right? Go ahead and read Slakia. Is there any more in that? No, it isn't. Go ahead and give me Proverbs 6 and 32. Because we have to get it understanding. When I say understanding, this whole value of a woman who's been with a body count. Hold what you got, because this is what I'm trying to get down to, is that we have whoremongers and loose women grooming our kids and our daughters and our sons to be whoremongers and loose in the street also, right? You have to understand the reason why, though. Because for a woman, her greatest competition is a virtuous woman. So what do you think her number one job is to do? To ensure that every woman is on her level. Then at that point, all it is an argument of body count. If every woman's loose in the street and every woman's walking around here with been with 15 different men, at this point is, what's your body count?
Right.
What can you bring to the table? And all these other things that don't mean nothing about value of a woman. Right? And we see all these talk shows building the hype and this, that, and the other, and everybody spitting and spazzing their own ideology and their own ideas. Guess what? That means nothing to the Most High God. Your ideas and your ideology means nothing to the Most High God. What you value yourself and you think of yourself, it's not the same with the Most High God. And that's what we have to understand, is that at the end of the day, whoremongers and loose women are out here grooming the future of tomorrow, our kids of tomorrow, right? through music videos, TVs, movies, TV show. All this is a form of grooming.
Right.
It's no different than, man, it's no different than somebody sending your daughter inappropriate pictures and telling her it's okay. Right. It's no different than somebody sending inappropriate pictures to your son and telling him that it's okay. You would be upset if you found inappropriate pictures in your child's phone, right? Then why do you let the powers that be of this world put and promote anything through music, TV, propaganda? You allow them to groom you, not just groom you, but groom your children into being that wicked thing that the Most High God does not like.
Right.
Right? It's beyond me. But Salakia, go ahead and read what you got for me.
Come. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
So a man who lays with another man's wife is committing adultery, and he lacketh understanding. He doesn't understand. He's lacking in all attributes of life. He's lacking understanding. He doesn't understand what the Most High God requires of him. And because he lacks that understanding, he's destroying his own soul. Right? Go ahead and give me Jeremiah 29:23.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 23. Because they have committed vainly in Israel.
Villainy.
So like a villainy in Israel.
Because they straight up villains, right? Villainy, go ahead.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 23 continue. Villainy in Israel, and have committed adultery with their neighbors' wives.
Right.
And have spoken lying words in my name.
In whose name?
In my name, the Lord's name.
Right. Go ahead.
Which I have not commanded them. Even I know, and I am a witness, saith the Lord.
So the Most High God know that they out here talking about born again, trying to groom and coerce women into believing that, hey sis, leave your husband. It's cool. It's tawab. You good, right? Now I when I say I watch, like I said, I watch videos. I watch information. The scriptures literally declare, it says, a man who answereth the matter before hearing it is in folly. So I give everybody, I listen. I give an ear. I listen. Because how can I give an answer if I don't listen? How do I know your stance and where you at with things if I don't listen? But I listen to different Hebrew Israelite groups that, out here, right? Telling sisters, hey, if your man don't want to be in the truth, leave him and come be with me. Your man don't want to be over here, right?
Right.
Come leave him and be with me. And then vice versa, because at the end of the day, when women, in some capacity, women still see themselves to be equal to men. You got women, I'm in the truth. You can come be with me. Come be with me, right? But you have to understand, it was a knowledge that was once in Israel that's not there anymore. And the knowledge that was in Israel was the simple fact that if a woman had been with a man, she understood that she couldn't be with another man if she left her husband. You do understand that back in the day, they had to trick men into laying with them. Yes, I am a virgin. Yes, I am a young maiden. Yes, I am this, that, and the third. Now we just do it because everybody else is doing it. It's become a normal thing. Right? They had the trick in under the guise of, I ain't gonna say witchcraft, but a form of witchcraft, right? A lot of people don't understand, like makeup. Older women looking like young women, as soon as they put their makeup on, I said, God damn, if they ain't no magic, man, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I see them on TikTok, women with teeth missing and all the wrinkles in the world. They do some head bobbing and twisted, and that L'Oreal or whatever makeup they use has been, was authored and put together by some magician or some warlock somewhere. But select. But at the end of the day, that knowledge has been removed. That understanding, because again, the scriptures declare if a man lays with another man's wife, right? That's adult. That is indeed an adultery. Regardless of what we say, right? Regardless of how we feel. We're saying what God says it is. God's saying it is an adultery. Right? That's what the Most High God is saying it is.
Right.
So, Locke, you go ahead and give me Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1, because this is where I want to touch base, because this is where, the world gets the idea, divorce. Oh, you can divorce. You can leave your spouse. You can this, that, and the third, and the fourth. You can do these things. That's what they teach. Right? But remember, again, I'm gonna get the precept right after that. But again, Christ follows up behind Moses, and we have to understand it in rank and order, in all honesty, rank and order, right? God, Christ, then men. So we can't. Moses doesn't supersede Christ, and Christ doesn't supersede the Most High God. It's like Christ said, "I came to do the will of my Father." Right?
Right.
He didn't say I come down here and do my own thing. He actually came down to make straight that which was crooked. When I say that was crooked, we out here wild.
Right.
We was out here doing all types of shameful things in the sight of the Most High God. And he came down here and he said, "Oh, you thought things was hard at first. I'm gonna go ahead and make this path real straight for you, right?"
Right.
Go ahead and read what you got for me in Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1. When a man hated, when a man hath taken a wife,
right,
and married her, and it came to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorce and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house.
That's right. So again, this is what Moses did, right? Moses gave us the bill of divorce. He gave us the means of removing our wives from the house, right? He gave us the means of being able to put them away if we found them not to be favorable in our eyes.
Right.
At some point, either she became a loudmouth or she didn't became this, that, and the third. We like, you know what? I gotta let her go, man. She talking too much out the side of her neck, right?
Right.
But let's see what the Most High. Let's see what when I say Most High. Let's see what Christ said, right? Go ahead and give me Matthew 5 and 31.
Coming. Matthew chapter 5, verse 31.
Right.
It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorce.
So I was right there. So this is Christ. He's referencing back to what we just read in Deuteronomy, right? Where Moses had given the people of the ability to write a divorce. If I found no longer found favor in your eyes, I can't deal with you. You're getting on my last nerves. And it didn't say anything about. See, this is one thing I want to show y'all, because again, this idea of woman's worth, you won't find it in the scriptures, other than a virtuous woman, and that woman who's of worth is a woman who was virtuous, right? She maintained her purity. She got with her husband, was only with her husband. She hearkened to her husband. She obeyed her husband.
Right.
She was submissive to her husband.
Right.
You get how these things understand, like the man is of the true value. The woman has value, and that value is what her husband deemed, right? You got to understand it. These women, what's it called? They say OnlyFans. Why is it that every woman posts pictures in the idea that they want every man to go and like their photos, right?
Right.
Why? Because they've been groomed to do this. It's not about her husband. If she was unto her husband, she wouldn't be posting I say Instagram model type stuff. She wouldn't be posting herself like this, angles like this. Why are you trying to show your cleavage? You got the phone all the way up here, hitting you in the top of their head. You see forehead and chest, right?
Right.
And if she's not doing that, she's sitting on the same turn like this. why are you sending me? Why you put these obscene pictures on the internet?
Right.
And if she's not doing that, then she's doing some famous TikTok move that got her throwing that butt in the circle, right? All types of weird stuff. But at the end of the day, the only time we see women of, when I say women of value, women have value based on her husband, and her children, and how good she is unto her husband. Because then her name is known in the city by her husband. Man, you got a wonderful wife. Mataz, well, you got a wonderful wife. You know, Warrior, you got a wonderful wife. Yo, I see your wife. She out here. She doing everything you want her to do. She's quiet. She don't say nothing. She's unto you and you alone. Man, you have an amazing, man, your wife is amazing, right? And the husband go home. He's like, yo, wife, they was talking, you know, the wise, the most high God, he gave me such a glorious real, this, that, and the third, right?
Right.
Why? Because that's where her value is. Her value is not every man times, let me take you out. Heart, flame. But what has the world become, right? Women think they have wholesome value, but when you doing that, the only value you have in the sight of the Most High God is none.
Right.
You are literally walking firewood if you're moving like that.
Right.
Right. I think it was some pictures some brothers in school shared a while back. I don't share pictures when they be too obscene, but it was a first lady. I can't remember her name, but she Christianized. She literally had some type of, I don't know if it was a gown or a shirt or something, but literally it was nothing. It was nothing, man. I'll be honest. It was nothing there. Right. I try to give it a minute for that, but I don't think anything was there. Right.
Right.
Because that's what the world's gremlins do. And it's becoming more plain to see for those who can see it. That the world and the church there's no separation in what they got going on, and they're starting to bleed into other things, right? Because it's called social norm. This is not normal in the sight of the Most High God's eyes. We just read it, right? Go ahead and continue reading because I want you to read that because Yahweh Shai getting ready to slice and dice the idea of that born again ideology. In that capacity, like I said, it's a whole thing. I'm not saying you can't repent and have remission of sin and then do the will of the Most High God. That's most definitely required of every human being on earth, right? The children of Israel,
right?
But if you're saying that, I'm trying to get you all to see under just straight up logic. If it's born again walk, the minute that we come into the truth, I have my glorified body.
Right.
I have come into the truth, and now I've received my glorified body. But that's not the case for the men. How's the men? We come into the truth and we no glorified body, no superpowers, no. Right. But all of a sudden, a sister come in and she good to go. She's brand new. Out the plastic. Rip it off.
Right.
Lucky. You gotta make it make sense. Right. Go ahead and read what you got.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 32. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery.
So whoever marries this woman who's been put away, he committed adultery.
Good.
It's literally in the Bible. It's a sin to be a stumbling block unto your brother, right? It's a sin. If you are a stumbling block unto your brother, you are going to be held accountable for that. So these men is out here laying with these sisters and putting them away. You are going to be held accountable for that,
right?
Unless you repent and have remission of sin and you turn from those wicked ways. And same thing for these women. You got to turn from those wicked ways and do the things that pleases the Most High God.
Right.
You're gonna either, when I say return, do the things that pleases the Most High God, you have to understand that it's instructions. If a woman leaves her husband, or not, because a woman can't leave her husband, Salaki. But in today's world, right, under American laws, women can leave their husbands.
Right.
The scriptures declare if you leave your husband, you are to return unto your father, unless he's, unfortunately, gone. You are to return unto your father's house, and he's to be your head until until he passed or you pass.
Right.
It ain't this left this man to be with this man to lead this man to be with the, you're not going to find it in the scriptures.
Right.
Right? There are occasions in which a woman can remarry. There are occasions in which a woman can get a husband. What you have to understand is a law for that. It's called next of kin.
Right.
It's things that instruct us on how to move in righteousness when these occasions happen. And that's what we want to do, is move in righteousness.
Right.
We're being instructed on how to be righteous. Right?
Right.
Salakia, real quick, if you jump up to Matthew 27, 5, it's in the same chapter, 27 and 28, read that real quick. Because this is what I mean by when I say Christ, our King, showed up and he said he made things a lot harder. When I say a lot harder, you have to understand, I'm still frustrated and upset by how the world had me all types of out here moving in wickedness, right? Because we had begun to believe that this was a normal thing. It's normal for me to hop on Instagram and look at half naked women and hit like and fire and heart sticks. It was okay for me to hop on Facebook and see all types of women with the photos and pictures and like this. Right. And for the you know, go a little bit further, for those, I thought it was cool for me to go out here and watch, how can I say? I'm trying to say it in such an art. I think they call it. I heard on the radio they get ready to call it art, and they get ready to make it to where these things. How can I say it? Let me put it like this: X-rated movies, right? That's not normal.
Right.
It's not normal to watch these things. Why even watching those things is not good for you if you want to be in being in line with Yahweh Shai, being in line with Christ, and being in line with the Most High God. Even those things are not privy to the body and to the mind, right?
Right.
But I know I did hear on the radio that they're literally, I forgot what it was, I forgot what radio station, but they're talking about making X-rated videos like a normal thing. Right. Because now they're trying to turn it into art. A form. It's art.
Right.
I guess if you recategorize it, it makes it. Oh, that makes sense. Art. Right. Come on, man. We gotta wake up, Israel, because this world's only gonna get worse, right?
Right.
Go ahead and continue reading.
So like that was.
It's the same chapter, but verse 27 and 28, Matthew 5.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time that thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right.
Verse 28. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh upon a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Go ahead and continue reading. I think it's a little bit more. Go ahead and read verse 29.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 29. If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell.
Right. So again, he's saying if you look upon a woman to lust after her, and we said that marriage is what? Laying with a woman, right?
Right.
So if you watching, this is what I was trying to say with that X-rated movies, they call it, they're going to call it art. But if you're watching these things, guess what you're watching? You're watching some form of some woman and some man. They're married. They're doing the acts of marriage. And what are you doing when you lust? Right. Yeah, how he understood the times we were going to be in, and he didn't leave no how you say it, leeway. We're not going to be able to flip, fold, bend, and maybe I can get around to being wicked if I just watch it, or maybe if I can get around to being wicked if I just peep game and not really just be doing it. Nah.
Right.
He said if you even look at it, right, lustfully,
right,
another man's wife. And so that's the issue with this world, because guess what? Every woman walks around without a husband. They go to the store without their husband on their side. They go to the mall without their husband. And then, to be honest, not if it's an older woman, she already knows she's been laid with.
Right.
Right. But 9 times out of 10, you in there, ooh, yams.
Right.
Ooh, look at that. Salate. And then women are doing the same thing to men.
Right.
Right? Why? Because we're being groomed to move in wickedness.
Right.
Wickedness is like an occasion. Like, it's just normal for us to do these things. But I'm telling you that these things that we deem normal, these things that we deem to be okay, are not okay, and they're not normal. How do we know that? Because if we're trying to move in righteousness and do what the Most High God wants us to do, then we would follow these instructions.
Right.
Right? And everything that we need is right here. Right here. It's not hidden. It's not in a different book. It's not in a different place. It's right here. Right?
Right.
Go ahead and give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 19.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so.
Pause right there. So you have to understand why it's important that we understand that adultery is real. We have to understand what the definition of adultery is, so we can escape. You know, when I say escape, remove ourselves from that wickedness.
Right.
Right. The scriptures declare it. When I say declare it, I'm gonna give you another example. So when Paul was explaining to the people, like we as Hebrew Israelites and those who understand the God, we understand that there's only one God, right?
Right.
But for the sake of our brothers and our sisters in the world, there's certain things that we cannot do because it becomes a stumbling block to them. What I mean by that, he said that you can eat meat, right? Let's say you go to your brother's house and he says, "Hey man, I made some food." You're like, "Yo, I'm about to smash that on it, right? I'm about to eat it." But as soon as your brother says, "Hey, I burnt this unto Molech," or I'm making this food to celebrate the 4th of July, you cannot receive that food, because if you receive that food, you become a stumbling block to your brother. Right? Because we understand there's only one God. We understand that it's not about, but when as soon as you say you prepared it unto another God or unto another deity, I cannot eat it because I will become a stumbling block to you, because now you see me, who claim to be a priest and prophet, out here smashing on, riblets and giblets and everything else up under the sun on these other pagan holidays. I can't do it, right?
Right.
So the same thing here with this. There's certain things that I have to refrain from, right? Not because, of course it is beneficial to me to refrain from them, right? Because I'm trying to move in righteousness and I want to make it into the kingdom of heaven, right? But for the sake of my brothers and my sisters, I don't want to become a stumbling block. Right. I don't want to teach, right? I'm not going to do these things, and nor would I teach these things, right? They're not privy to you, right? Because it's saying right here, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. Now we understand what adultery is, right? And shall teach men. So I can't teach you to go out here and commit adultery.
Right.
Go ahead and continue reading.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 19, continue. And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Go ahead and give me Matthew 19:4. So this idea of a woman's worth, her worth she's only worth or valued by her husband and her children.
Right.
Right. The woman who's been with a man and she left him, she has zero value to any other man on the earth. Right. So all these talk shows and where these hosts come out here and be like, and these girls be like, "Yeah, I just want a man, who understands me and right and can accept my past and accept my future and accept me how I am, because I'm not getting rid of my OnlyFans."
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Because women have been gaslighted. They have been put on the pedestal to believe that they are of some higher value than men. And that's not true. Definitely not in Israel. Because the scriptures literally declare, it says, "Ye men are my sheep." So you have to understand, when women start joining themselves to other nations, they're putting their trust and their faith and their belief into another nation, into another man.
Right.
And so when the Most High God come back to get his sheep, and all those who are gathered and cleaved unto his sheep, you have to understand his sheep are the men. And the men are going to instruct righteousness. Right?
Right.
So this worth, this value, You got it twisted.
Right.
Y'all women out here really moving on some other stuff.
Right.
And I'm here to warn you today, it's behoove you if you're out here moving willy and silly with it to stop. To go and sin no more.
Right.
To give up your wicked ways, turn from your wicked thoughts and anything else you thought was privy, right? And come into the truth and do the things that's pleasing to the Most High God, right?
Right.
Go ahead and give me Matthew 19:4.
Come. Matthew chapter 19, verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made the male and female? Verse 5. And said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother,
Right.
and shall cleave to his wife, and they twine shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twine, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder.
Right there, Paul. So whatever God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Once a man and woman come together, they become one flesh.
Right.
One flesh, one person, one human being, one entity. They are one flesh.
Right.
He is not to put her away. And like I said, we're in America now. She is not to leave him.
Right.
Because as soon as she leaves him, and again, if he allowed, but like I said, this world, they got us all types of destroyed out here. But you understand, as a man and a man of God, you have to understand your duty is to not let her leave. Try your hardest. Say, hey, you're gonna be in sin. You're gonna be. Remind her. Thus said the Lord. You're going to be an adulteress. You're going to be you're going to be in adultery. And any man you get where you're going to cause him to be an adultery. Let her be convicted by the scriptures.
Right.
Sis, you can't move out. You can't do that. You do that, not only bringing shame upon your father and upon me, you also about to go out here and cause another brother to be in error.
Right.
Right? Come on, man. We got to wake up. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. Matthew chapter 19, verse 7. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorce to put her away?
Pause right there. So now the people are asking, then why did Moses give us the ability to put our wives away? Why did he give us a writing of divorcement if what you're saying is to be true, right? That God didn't want us to put our wives, that he didn't want us to separate. They're asking, right? Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. Matthew chapter 19, verse 8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so.
So again, he's saying because of the hardness of your hearts, because the stiff neck in you, because you out here looking at other nations and how they move, right? That's why he gave them a written divorce, because they was hard-headed. They was out here doing things that was not privy. He gave him that because he's the man. He was tired of the murmuring. He was tired of the jib jab. He was tired of all the noise they was making, right?
Right.
So Christ let them know, hey man, this was not of the Most High God. This was not his intentions from the beginning. His intentions were never for a man to put his wife away, right? Go ahead and jump down to verse 11. Let's see what he said. Let's see what Christ says about what he just said to these men about adultery and stuff. Let's see if everybody's going to get it, right? Go ahead.
Come. Matthew chapter 19, verse 11.
Actually, read verse 10 and then jump down to 11.
Come. Matthew chapter 19, verse 10. His disciples say unto him, if the cause of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. Verse 11. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive it this saying, save they to whom it is given.
Pause right there. Not every man gonna understand this. Not every woman gonna understand this, right? He says all men cannot receive the saying. Y'all see, that's crazy, right? You know, I think it's crazy, but I'm trying to understand that it's still some fighting with the flesh. Miss Booty Liciante out there looking a little too good. That sister need to be saved and be brought in here, and she needs a husband.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be that husband. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm not saying that me, but that's what we think.
Right.
That's how we move. We still moving carnally. We still thinking, "Ooh, that sister need to be saved, and I'm gonna be the one to save her."
Right.
I know she got 5 kids.
Right.
But whew, she the one. she could call my eye. I need to bring in this truth. I need to bring her in.
Right.
I need to go ahead and slay and lay it down, right?
Right.
But you're saying all men not gonna be able to receive this. You're not gonna be able to understand. You're not gonna be able to get this, right? Go ahead and read. Continue reading for me.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 12. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which are made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it.
So again, remember, it's talking about, if a member, someone you cause you to err, cause you to, defile the temple, to cut it off. Now, when I'm saying cut it off, to plug it out, and this, that, and the third, but you have to understand what a eunuch is saying. Some people are born, incapable of, performing the acts, right? Then it says some men made eunuchs. You have to understand that what kings and nobles used to do back in the day, they would have a man to watch over their wives, right? To ensure nothing happened. Well, that man was made a eunuch.
Right.
He wasn't out there just,
Right.
walking around, big slanging. No, man, he was made a eunuch, man. You better watch over my wives. You're not gonna be able to have. You're not gonna make it.
Right.
Right. But they out here, and we think that again. Some men it's just flesh. You're not gonna be able to receive it. I get it, right?
Right.
Go ahead and jump in Mark chapter 10, Mark 10 and 12.
Mark chapter 10, verse 12. And if a woman shall put away her husband and be married to another, she committed adultery.
Right there. So it covers it both ways, right? So if a woman shall put her husband away and marry another, she committed adultery, right?
Right.
Go ahead and jump to Corinthians for me.
Come.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10.
First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband.
Right. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come, verse 11. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried.
Or let her remain what?
Unmarried.
If she leave her husband, she's supposed to remain what?
Unmarried.
She's supposed to remain unmarried. All right. Go ahead and continue reading.
Or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife.
And let not the husband put away his wife. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 12. But to the rest I speak, not the Lord.
Pause right there. See, this is what I like about Paul. When I say about Paul, was what you have to understand is when he's speaking of the Most High God, he's saying, "Hey, thus said the Lord, thus said the Lord, thus said the Lord." At any point he begins to speak anything other than the Most High God, he says, "Hey, this is me speaking. This is not of the Most High God." Right? He's saying, "This is me, not of God." Right? Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 12. But to the rest I speak, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
Right there. So what he's saying, because we have to understand, we come into this truth and this knowledge. It's a lot of time. A lot of men find out is they wives don't like hearkening unto them. They don't like. It's a whole new mannerism in which a woman should take on. The world says be loudmouth, be objective, and speak your mind. And Christ says, hey, be humble, be submissive, be quiet. It's a whole new spirit you got to put on. And a lot of times, a lot of women don't want to do that, and they get I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that, and they have no quorums. When I say they don't have no quorums with their husband, all they have is a quorum with doing what's pleasing the Most High God, right? And Paul's saying, hey, don't put her away, right? She's a loud mouth. She out here running tangents. She running her mouth. She looses the lips. She's doing everything, but she wants to dwell with you. She's cool with dwelling with you. She's cool with being by your side. She's cool with being in your house, right? She's out here moving, outside of that, she's moving contrary to all the other scriptures, right?
Right.
He's saying, don't put her away. Why? Because you have the understanding, man. You have the understanding, you have the knowledge and understanding that you cannot put your wife away. Right. Regardless of how loud her mouth get and how reckless she may get. It's your job to continue to, hone in and correct and redirect and et cetera, et cetera. But the one thing you don't want to do is put that sister away. Why? Because if you put that sister away, guess what you have just done? The scriptures declare you have committed adultery, because not only have you committed adultery, but you have sent your wife out into the world, and guess what she's going to do? She's going to get another man, because that's what the world teaches. And she's going to commit, and that man's going to commit adultery with her. Right? We have to move smart, Israel, right? Go ahead and continue reading.
Come on, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
Pause right there. So then again, like I said, I've seen an I.S.U.P.K video where they literally, the sister walking down the street with her man, and they're bringing out the scriptures. The sister stops and she's listening, right? And she's, attentive to what the scriptures they're bringing out. And the man's like, nah, let's go. And they literally out their mouth, sister, leave that man and come get you a priest or prophet. I said, oh man. And they call it, they say, I don't know. Again, you read the scriptures.
Right.
You can't, as a priest and prophet, you can't, sister, leave that man and get with another man. Sister, that man is not worthy. Leave that man and get with another man. You can't do that.
Right.
That power has not been given to any man on this earth. No man has been instructed or given the power to remove a woman from one man and give her to another man. No man has been given the power by the Most High God, the Creator, to say, hey, this man is not worthy. I'm going to remove you from him and give him to you. Or, sister, that man ain't listening. Leave him and come be with me.
Right.
Hey, sister, your man ain't paying your bills like he should. Let me be your sugar daddy. So now you're using your money and your power to leverage and seduce women into sin.
Right.
You're using your position and we call it in the business world, it's a quid pro quo. Hey, if your manager come down and you're just an employee, he's saying, hey, let me holler at you. Jim Bob over there only makes $12 an hour, but me, big manager, CEO, I can change your life.
Right.
Right. We not to be moving like that. We're not to be covetous. We're not to be out here trying to leverage women for our own wicked pleasures. Remove them and put them. We don't. There's no instructions that says a man has a power to do that.
Right.
I don't see any. I have not. I've read for the last couple of days before I did the class to make sure to see. Hey, maybe somebody's been given the instruction. Maybe there's somewhere where somebody's been given the authority, the power to move women around like the chess pieces. Sister, leave that man and get with me. Sister, move around. Sister, you shouldn't be. And because pastors do it too. What they call it, marriage counsels. We're gonna do some one-on-one marriage counsels. Your husband can sit out on this one.
Right.
When they be both of them, he be talking in code. Well, sister, I think you need to listen to your husband.
Right.
Spend some more time at the church and praying and fasting. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And for the husband, man, you just need to be more attentive and responding to your wife's needs and all this shooting and shenanigans, but at the end of the day, this brother just looking for an occasion to get with your wife on the side.
Right.
He didn't got some alone time. He didn't, hey, your husband out here. He didn't told me. You think it's a marriage counselor, but he's spilling the beans.
Yeah. It's a season.
Yeah. Everything is seasoned. He may not be the one. He may have been the one who was here to teach you what your future man gonna look like. He may have been all types of, but you're not gonna find it in the scripture. You're not gonna find what they're saying in the scriptures. Christ explained that, right? And we should understand that God, first of all, God said it, and that alone should be the end of it.
Right.
But just like because we are stiff-necked people, we are hard-headed people. The Most High God sends priests and prophets to do what? To not only warn the wicked, but to warn the righteous.
Right.
Hey man, you need to get up. You need to wake up because there's no instruction. Nobody's been given that power.
Right.
Nobody's been given that rod. When I say that rod, that shepherds, right?
Right.
Other than Yahweh Shai, and what he say? He came and made things. He said, "Y'all thought it was my father said committing adultery was when you lay with her, but I'm coming and I'm gonna go ahead and make things a little more straight and narrow for you. If you even look at a sister,
right,
lustfully and covetously, right, you have committed adultery. He's letting you know you're not making it.
Right.
He made it harder on you. You know what? You know what this reminds me of? And Salaki, it just hit me. During in Kings, Jeroboam and Rehoboam, right? After Solomon, right? Solomon had sinned, right? And Solomon had servants. And Solomon had the servants working hard, right? And so when Solomon passed away, Rehoboam had stepped in his kingship, right? And the people had questioned, hey, can you soften our burden? Can you lessen our burden? We'll continue to serve you if you lessen our burden, right? And then Rehoboam had, and this is me just a side note, Rehoboam had went to the wise men. The wise men said, "Listen, hearken unto the people, do what they do as they say, and they'll serve you for the rest of your life, or whatever the case may be." But then Rehoboam went to his homeboy, skipping the crew, and they was like, "Nah, man, make them work harder because you about to be more blinged out than your father was. Right? You got to have more grills and chains and anybody else." Now this is me just paraphrasing, but at the end of the day, he had hearkened into he had asked the council of the young men, and when it came down to give his decree, he said, "My father did things this way. I'm going to make it harder." That's what Rehoboam said, right?
Right.
So that kind of reminded me when I just said that, is God gave us ordinances and laws to abide by, and we was all, in being the stiff necked and hard headed people we always sought a way to bend and fold and make it right, so we can be wicked in our fleshly desires. Right. Christ said, "Nah, son, I'm here. I'm your king." Where it was said that if you commit adultery, I'm saying if you even look at another woman, you have committed adultery. Right. Right. It even goes further to say, hey, if you hate your brother, you are a murderer. You came and hate your brother now, you a murderer. Right. Not you have to do the act of killing somebody. He's saying if you hate your brother, you are a murderer. Right. If you look at another woman, you have committed an adultery. Right. Come on, man. We gotta go ahead and get it right. But Salakia, give me Romans 7:2. But a woman shouldn't desire to leave her husband, and a husband shouldn't desire to put his wife Yeah, man. We gotta stop listening to wicked people. Stop getting countenance or counseling from wicked people. You looking to do righteousness, and you going to seek counsel from wicked people. That's the one thing that baffles me. Definitely the truth. You know, you got women that get upset, and the first thing they want to do, they want to jump to Facebook and every social media platform and reach out to everybody, but the person they should be reaching out to. You want righteous counsel, but you running all over the world asking for counsel. It's a lot. You got that? Go ahead and read that for me.
Come on, Romans chapter 7, verse 2. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband is dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Pause right there. So again, if your husband's passed away, right? You are loose from that. Now we do understand. We have instructions on how to move. Where do we find that in the story of Ruth?
Right.
Ruth's husband had died, and what happened? The next of kin, which is a law. The next of kin is where a next of kin, the wife marries the next of kin, and that next of kin's duty is to raise up a heir, a son, in that brother or that person's, in that place.
Right.
Because he passed away before he had a man child. He passed away before he brought an heir into this earth.
Right.
That's what the next of kin is. It's the law, right? Again, we have instructions on how to move righteously. We just have to decide to do those things, right? Go ahead and continue reading for me.
Come on. Romans chapter 7, verse 3. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from the law. So that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Christ, that ye should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto God.
Pause right there. Go ahead and give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 22. That's going to be in the new apocrypha. It's going to be in the apocrypha.
So like that was
Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 22.
Oh. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 22. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in an heir by another.
Right, pause right there. So now what we're reading is if a woman leaves her husband, right? Because women do that, and she brings in an heir. I mean, she brings a child by another man. She leaves her husband. You think you can just leave? Oh, I left. I left after my first relationship. Now, I have 12 kids and this, that, and other. Let's see, because everybody has to understand that God knows their heart and he cares and he's about what we about. Let's find out. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come on. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 23. For first she had disobeyed the law of the Most High.
She did what?
Disobeyed the law of the Most High.
You can't leave your husband and go have children with another man. Because the first thing you've done is you disobeyed the law of the Most High God. Right? He's letting it be known. You have disobeyed the Most High God law. That's the first thing you did. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 23 continued. Secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband. And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man.
And brought in children by she has played the harlot. She has brought in children by through adultery. Go ahead and continue reading.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 24. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. Verse 25. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall be forth, shall bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. And all that and they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Lord.
Pause right there. So when we out here thinking that the grass is green on the other side, and we're gonna move over here, I deserve this, I deserve that, because that's all I hear women say is I. You know, I deserve this and I deserve that, and if he did this and if he did that, Most High God just said, if you first of all step out and leave your husband, right? Because marriage is sex, and sex is marriage, right? So if you lay with a man, you're married. If you leave that man, right? So the first man you lay with, that's who you married to. If you leave that man and go have kids with another man, that's you just committed adultery, and the kids you had are from you committing adultery. Right. Now we understand that we are under grace. I'm not saying we're not under grace, but what I'm trying to get us to understand is that grace is not to abound to the point that we continue to do these things, right? So I'm again giving instruction on what righteousness look like. The Most High God says that her children won't take root. Well, you understand if you're not taking root, that means you're not here no more. Right. You're not taking root. You're not going to grow. You're not here no more. And the woman's to leave. She becomes a whole reproach, so everybody can see, yo, I don't want that to happen. And it's letting you know it's better to serve the Most High God, right? It's sweeter to take heed and listen to the instruction of the Most High God and His commandments than to do all the things that we think are pleasing to us, right? Are pleasing to our moms, are pleasing to when I say our moms, because at this point, if your mom and dad are not out here keeping the commandments of the Most High God, then you have to understand that the instruction that they're giving you is not the instruction of the Most High God, right? Right. Go ahead and read. Yeah, go ahead and finish that last verse.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 28. It is great glory to follow the Lord, and to be received of him is long life.
Okay, and then give me a second. Give me Salakia. So go ahead and give me Romans 10 and 19 while I get this other scripture, because I put it in my. We have to understand that the whole duty of man, the whole duty for us to do is that we keep the commandments of the Most High God and do the things that's pleasing to Him, right? We're so caught up in being men pleasers and doing the things that's acceptable and privy to the world, right? Or acceptable to man. Well, this man says it's okay, so everybody said, it gotta be okay. We have to make sure that we hearken to the Most High God. Because God lets us know that every man can stumble and fall at some point. All right. Right. So we have to make sure that we hearken unto the Most High God, and that the man that's following us is doing the same thing. But Slack, go ahead, read what you got for me.
Come. Romans chapter 10, verse 19. But I say, Did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation will I anger you. Verse 20. But it's like it.
That's it. So we understand that when it says that we'll be brought to anger by no people, you have to understand that the people that are over us at this point are no people. When I say no people, go ahead and give me Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30. Their ways are not befitting us as Israel. Their ways and the way they do things is not pleasing to the sight of the Most High God, right?
Right. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 30. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them. After that they be destroyed from before thee, that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so I will do likewise. Verse 31. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hated have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters have they burnt in the fire to their gods.
Right. So again, the Most High God is saying everything these other nations have done is an abomination. He hates it. So if he hates the things they do, then why would we do them, right?
Right.
But real quick, this is one I wanted to get. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 10. Because the scriptures declare us to be a father to the fatherless and be a husband unto the widow, right? But you have to understand in the way the Most High God requires us to perform these acts. You know, when he says be a father to the fatherless and be a husband unto the widow, but we have to understand how to actually do that in righteousness. Right. Because we have to understand that our flesh is going to holla, right? We're going to be out here sister. You got a man. Look, I'm righteous. I see you out here doing your thing with your kids. I'm going to go ahead and bring you in here, rope you up real quick and do you right. Hey, sister, your husband left. Oh, man, sister, I got you. I'm a righteous. I'm going to do you right. I'm going to come in here and bring you in, right? Let's see how the scriptures declare us to be a father to the fatherless, and you know how to be a, as far as a husband, what it looks like, right? Go ahead and read what you got.
So like that was Ecclesiasticus
4 and 10.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 10. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto the mother, so shalt thou be as the son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother do.
Right there. So be a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto the mother, because we so quick. I'm not gonna lie. I was that guy, Captain Save. I was had to try to save them all, boy. I was like ass catching.
Right.
Got to catch them all, right?
Right.
Out here being Captain Save them, man. And I'm out here, hey sis, I do you right. I take care of your kids and kids. They had the Jordans on their feet, right? Captain Save them, boy. I'm showing up, paying bills and all that. Well, yeah, I'm supposed to assist that sister in instruction and righteousness, and that's how I'm gonna be a husband to her. I'm gonna be the instructor. I'm going to help her and guide her in righteousness.
Right.
And I'm gonna be a father unto them children by guiding them and instructing them in righteousness.
Right.
Not go be a husband unto her, but be a father to the fatherless.
Right.
Right. And so we just want to make sure that we're moving in righteousness at all times. It's lucky. Moderators, make sure y'all moderate and make sure there's anything out there for us. Most High in Christ. Well, that concludes my class. We are the I.S.U.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to her brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. I.S.U.P.K, which means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase Yahweh gives you. Give to the Treasury Department of teaching. Priest fund, free will offering, or for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. That means said men of Israel. Imagine. Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham. Yahshua Tah. Sorry. Courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Shem Yahshua. Yahshua Tah. Class is missed.